Hello, namaste. So I'm just making a little video to explain what has happened to me in the last couple of weeks. I had such a crazy whirlwind situation happen to me. So I have an autoimmune disorder, which is called MS, multiple sclerosis. And which is a progressive disease, and over time your body kind of shuts down in stages. And I'm at the stage in my disease where the signals aren't connecting sometimes, and I fall a lot. I'll fall down randomly when I'm never expecting it, and I never get a warning. And I fell a few weeks back and I broke my shoulder when I fell. This is the second time now that I have fallen and hurt myself bad enough to break bones. The first time I broke my hip and I had to have it replaced. That was last year. So this couple weeks ago, actually it's been almost a month now since I fell and broke my shoulder. And so I was seeing an orthopedic doc, and with COVID, things are difficult and take a lot more time than they should. And the orthopedic doc referred me to have an MRI done on my shoulder to see, they knew it was going to require a surgery, and they were preparing to do a surgery within a week or so, but he wanted an MRI done after the x-rays had been done. He needed an MRI. So I went in on Wednesday last week to have the MRI, and did the MRI, which took 30 minutes. And I hate the MRI machine. It's terrifying to me to be put into a tube and all the sounds they make. But I was having so much pain in my shoulder going all the way down my arm, and my hand had become completely numb for days. So I toughed through it, and I got done with the MRI, and we kind of live out a ways. So I drove home, and apparently the radiologist called my orthopedic surgeon, and before I could even make it home, the radiologist told my surgeon that I had a massive infection going on in my joint and that it was an emergency and that I needed to be seen ASAP. So as I was walking in my door, my phone rang, and my doctor said, "You're having an emergency. You need to come right away. There's an infection in your shoulder, and I need to see you now. I can't wait even one day." So we turned around and we went back to my doctor's. And while I was there, he did a thing where he aspirated or took a lot of fluid out of my shoulder and had it tested to see what the infection was. At first they couldn't identify it, but it was bad, really bad. And it had gone to my bloodstream, and it had become septic. And I was going down fast. So they immediately admitted me and took blood tests and everything to prepare me for an emergency surgery, and immediately came back into the room. Well, within an hour came back into the room and told me I was COVID positive, number one. I have never had a symptom for COVID. I live with my husband and our grandson in a tiny 2-bedroom apartment. None of them have ever had COVID or showed symptoms for COVID. It's very strange. And they call it asymptomatic. So apparently I am a carrier of COVID. So I had to be put on a COVID ward. And then he asked me, "Why are you so anemic?" And I said, "I don't know. I didn't know I was." And he said, "You're extremely anemic, dangerously anemic, and you have to have an emergency blood transfusion now." So I had an emergency blood transfusion. First time in my life I've ever had a blood transfusion. It was quite scary. And they admitted me that night and did the blood transfusion. And the next morning, early, they did a major surgery on my shoulder to go in there and get all of that out. And because I had a surgery pending on my shoulder, they went ahead and did the work that they were going to do, but not all the way. So I have to go in and have another procedure done after this is healed. Instead, what they did, because the hospital is so full of COVID patients, and I don't know why exactly they did this, but this infection is not all the way gone yet. So they sent me home with a PICC line. So this here goes up my arm, over my shoulder, and directly into my heart, into one of the ventricles of my heart. So it's a dangerous one. This is not like any IV, which I had IVs in both arms before. One arm had antibiotics going in, and the other arm had blood coming in it. It was crazy. But this is not like a normal IV that takes 5 minutes to plunk into somebody. This was a procedure that required an ultrasound so that they could guide the catheter through my vein into my heart to make sure it went to the right place. So the reason for this is because every 12 hours I have to infuse myself with antibiotics, very strong, the strongest antibiotics, because this infection is not gone yet. And the reason why, and I've got at least 3 weeks that I have to do this every day, infuse myself, and twice a day. And the reason why is because of my MS. I have such a compromised immune system that my hematocrit, which is my iron level, is slow to come up, and the infection is very slow to go bye-bye. So I got to come home after 5 days in the hospital, which is fantastic. I missed my dog so bad. I cried every night for him, and he was so happy to see me. He's just been cuddling me ever since. And every time someone goes out the door, he cries because he thinks they're not coming back. I hope I didn't give him PTSD. But anyways, I'm happy to be home. I'm not all the way out of the woods yet. Working on it. I have a great support system, a sweet little caregiver that comes in and helps me for a few hours out of the day. But I'm home, and the danger, the big danger is over, and now I have to wait 5 more days to get another COVID test done, because I think it was a false positive. I honestly do. And if you get a positive COVID test, you have to wait 10 days to get another one, no matter what. So I got 5 more days left, and I can get another, or maybe it's 4, and I can get another COVID test. Until then, I'm kind of stuck at home, but I would rather be stuck at home than to be at that hospital on that COVID ward. It was very rough, very rough. No visitors. The staff are great. The nurses were fabulous, but they're exhausted, and it shows in the manner of care that they provide. The nurses that are really young, like fresh out of school, gung-ho about their new career, they were the best ones to have, because they were the least, I think they're probably the most overworked, but they're the least affected out of all of the medical staff. I had a couple of older CNAs that came in at different times that just told me, they felt like they've worked 5 years in the last year. I just felt terrible for them. And if it was okay, I would have a beautiful bouquet sent as a thank you to the unit I was on, but they're not allowed to have flowers. So I just had to tell them all thank you profusely before I left. Me, though, I'm allowed to have flowers because I'm home. And one of my best friends just sent these to me a little while ago, and I want to show them off because they're so beautiful. I hope you've seen them. Anyways, they're gorgeous. Pink roses is my favorite. And there's some, I think, lily in there. Maybe a form of daisy, I'm not sure. But I love, love, love them. Absolutely was not expecting them. Got a random knock on my door, and these flowers were delivered, and it just brightened my day. I have such wonderful friends, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you, Chrissy. I love you. If you see this, they're beautiful. So anyways, that's the story of what happened to me recently. My wonderful friend Mystic Brady gave me a shout out in one of her videos, and I was listening when she did, and it just filled my heart with so much love and joy, and I felt her love, and I felt Katrina, I felt you, and I appreciated that, and it helped me so much. You have no idea, and I'm not going to cry, but I did when you said that. Thank you. And thank you, Dark Rose, for having my back, too. And everybody else out there that actually sees my videos, if you do. I know I haven't really put many videos out. I kind of have stage fright. But I think that's over now, and it feels good to let that fear go and go ahead and make a video. And it's easier than telling all of my friends one by one about my situation. Now they can just look at my video and everyone will be able to know what happened to me. But I am strong, and I very much use the mantra and the affirmations and your positive energy that I could feel, Katrina. And I know it helped me. I know it helped me get out of that hospital sooner and back home to my man and my dog, where I belong and where I feel happy and comfortable, and where all my stuff is, and where it's not on the COVID ward. So thank you so much, Katrina, for always being you. And your videos, I don't miss a one. You're great. And thanks for the encouragement. I'm doing it. So I'll end it there. I did 13 minutes of a video. Kind of proud of myself. And till the next one, bye guys.